The building lot of planned World Lemko Cultural Center is situated in a picturesque tract in the Shevchenko district of Kiev. Now there are situated a number of temporary built garages for private cars, several deserted and one-storied inhabited houses, as well as a desolated forest park zone. The building lot has an area of 2.69 hectares and is 256.4 meters long from north to south and 145 meters long from east to west. The difference of height of the land is almost 50 meters. The significant slope and the lack of an appropriate supervision of the drainage system caused its destruction that result in today's necessity of serious engineering works. However, there are marvelous views on the forest park zone, the Kirillivska church, famous monument of architecture of 11th-17th century. Besides the marvelous landscapes, the difference of the height will remind to Lemko representatives their homeland, what is estimated as a positive psychologist element. Similar to many other nations, the tops of architectural creativity of Lemko were churches. However, the most typical were monuments of wooden architecture. Lemkos built also many churches from stone, but those had more or less conventionalized architectural elements that originated from the wooden buildings. The compositional basis of the World Lemko Cultural Center will be the church, although its size is much less than an apartment house, but the last are only a background in the urban surroundings that, similar to the mountains in the nature, emphasize the spiritual meaning and the uniqueness of the temple. A comprehensive approach to the building up of the land area gives the possibility to combine in the cultural center objects of an utilitarian purpose, blocks of flats, houses for social destination, office premises, parking places, restaurants and a hotel, and the actual cultural center, exhibition halls, cinema, hall for conferences, art school for children, and the temple that is to be the main building of the Lemko Culture Center and the folk's guide before the Lord. As a complex is multifunctional, it can be conditionally divided into following 7 components: cathedral, podium under the church, properly the building of the Lemke Center, terraces in the form of harshua with a cascade, a number of dwelling houses of different height, dwelling 24-story house, dwelling 18-story house, hotel, landscape park, total 158.441 square meters, building area 20.057 square meters, site area is 26,884 square meters. The Lemkivsk Cultural Center is a pattern of the powerful evolution of culture stratum. That is why the church has Lemkivsk wood nature, but at the same time it contains modern or maybe future architectural elements: silvery bathhouses, white copper ornamental covers on the cathedral body together with tiles make it not only unique, but also unifying ages and generations. In the podium under the church, which is also symbolic, there are the locations of the World Center for Lemkivsk Culture. Its very accommodations oblige to a certain spiritual perfection and purity. The exhibition halls are placed strictly under the podium stone, lower cinema and concert hall, conference hall, offices, which ensures the center's activity, and in the under circle facing the landscape park there is the children art school oriented towards Lemkivsk cultural traditions. Moreover, there is the parking place which partly digs into the mountainside. The particular qualities of the site oblige to create the unit which repeats the relief and at the same time serves as consolidating construction to support the mountainsides, the overfall of the height of which reaches 50 meters. The 7-circled horseshoe terraces, which are symbolic by their form and their number, are the best form in this situation. Every lower circle is an original foundation, a support for the next upper. Supporting it rises up the relief, repeating the latter. The terraces behind the podium will have a parking place and offices along its perimeter. Along its internal perimeter overhead there will be a two-level row of apartments. This type of dwelling houses corresponds mostly to the idea of cottages, at least by its proximity to the ground, the availability of chambers in the construction, and facing the landscape park. The following two levels foresee the units designed for social and everyday service purposes. In the lower circle, there will be a recreation center and a kindergarten, which directly face a landscape park. Then a waterfall will be the local composition center on the top of the horseshoe. It will make a specific microclimate, both physical and aesthetic. A number of shops will be located in the upper tiers, around the upper bowl. Restaurants and continuation of the recreation zone will be located below. These zones will be also reflected in the southwestern part of the horseshoe, along the lower legs and the waterfall. A 2-4-floor hotel will be clearly visible, being located above the southwestern part of the terraces. It will give the opportunity to receive guests of the Lemke in a picturesque nook of the world center with view on the waterfall and the landscape park at one side and the forest park zone of the Kerівник at the other side. The southern part of the horseshoe-like terrace will be crowned with two tiers. As far as the functional destination is concerned, they will be probably office premises. The 18 24-floor residential buildings will dominate above everything. They will include recreation zones with winter gardens. It will be a brilliant opportunity for people united by a joint goal to communicate with each other, not living their multi-story residences. Here we have again combination of traditions, trees, and communication with like-minded persons nearby the residence, and high technologies, winter gardens at upper floors. To the southern direction from those buildings, other residential buildings will be located with decrease of numbers of floors. These buildings will have some characteristic features: roofs, shingles, pylons, ramps, traditional for the cultural heritage of Lemke. At the same time, there are some modern buildings. Let me remind that the residential buildings and the hotel have in combination in essence of their tradition and contemporaneity are only the active background for a temple. They represent that road which multiplies modern life and directs it up to the tops of eternal spirituality, passing through its utility and drawing the cultural heritage of the centuries. As a result of construction of the Lemke Center, separate groups of ethnic Ukrainians in the whole world who have an acutely genetic feeling of the single family will acquire a center which will unite the progeny of that branch of the Ukrainian nation, will be a center of culture, spirituality, and thanks to education of young offspring, the symbol of rebirth and preservation of the Ukrainian culture in the whole world.